Hey, welcome back to Drowning in Yarn. I'm Caleb. I know I say so often that an episode's going to be different, and I'm going to say it again, so maybe I should stop saying it one day. But today, I'm going to take you through some of my acquisitions that I've gotten over the past few months from a lot of small businesses that I love. And I'm going to edit things a little less than normal, so it might be a little bit longer, but I have so many things to show you, and I can't wait. So stick around and we'll get into it. So before we get started, I just want to remind you to hit the little subscribe button down below if you want to see what content I have coming up in the future, and the little bell next to it if you want to get notifications when new videos are posted, and hit the like button if you're enjoying this video while you're watching. I also just want to say, before I start showing you all the things I've bought in the last few months, that I totally understand that we're in the middle of a pandemic and I'm about to show you a bunch of stuff, and the purpose is not to say, look at all the stuff I bought, but it's just to show you small businesses that I love and that I think are producing really beautiful things, and to show some support for those businesses. I want to also just kind of make a commitment that in the future, as I show patterns, sometimes I'll show you things in hand-dyed yarns because I buy those a lot, but I'll always try to kind of mix in some more budget-friendly yarns and definitely offer suggestions. So I'm going to show you a lot of stuff, and if you're not able to right now kind of participate in supporting these small businesses through purchasing things, then don't worry. I'm always going to keep you in mind and show you things that you might be able to like that are a little bit more economical and fit into a wider range of budgets. But with that being said, I will go ahead and first show you my stocking pattern, which I'm so excited to show you. I told you about it, I think 2 weeks ago. I've been posting a few little tutorials and I still have a couple left to post, but I'm so excited with how this turned out. Y'all have seen this version, but just last night I had like a burst of inspiration and decided to knit this little tiny one for my dog Molly. And I'm going to update my pattern. The pattern is already live on Ravlery, but I'm going to update the pattern to include this little tiny stocking. I'm thinking of it as like a pet stocking, a little doggy stocking, but it could be anything. It could be for anybody, I guess I should say. So if you haven't already, favorite the pattern or queue it up if you want to, check it out. Doing those things helps push it forward in the rankings to get it in front of more eyes, which I am so proud of it. So I want everybody to see it. But yeah, so I'm super excited about that. I'll first talk about this because I knit this in some yarns that I love. The idea was to use up some of the leftover suri. So the suri that's in the cuff of this stocking is leftover from the body of the original stocking. But then for the body of this one, I used what is called a gosling from Goosey Fibers. It's a 50-gram skein, and I held 2 strands of fingering weight double. And then the blue is from Brine Dye Works. So I heard about Goosey Fibers from Summer Lee Knits, who y'all know that I'm obsessed with Summer. I'm like her #1 fan. And so when she recommended them in her Instagram stories, I immediately went and checked them out. And Goosey Fibers is amazing. These are goslings from Goosey Fibers. They're, I think, typically like $14 or $15, and they're 50-gram skeins, so they're perfect for like a shorty sock or to marl, or if you want to buy some hand-dyed yarn but $30 is kind of outside the budget. These are perfect to just get a little taste. And then I've also gotten these amazing full skeins. Some of these are discontinued, so she has a lot of discontinued yarns on there right now from collections that were inspired by books or movies or whatever, and they're 30% off. And in fact, for Small Business Saturday, I think most things in her shop are 30% off, but these are amazing. This was a Harry Potter inspired skein called Grimmauld Place, and you know, I'm having trouble with my Harry Potter fandom right now because of J.K. Rowling's views, but the money for this doesn't go to J.K. Rowling, it goes to Goosey Fibers, and it's beautiful. So I picked this up. Then also this really beautiful kind of variegated skein is called Sorting Ceremony, another Harry Potter inspired color. And I just love the deep reds, the greens, the blues, the yellows. There's so many colors in here, and I think it's going to make some really fun socks. Or even if you hold it double, it would make a gorgeous hat. That's kind of what I did with this little stocking. This one was also a Harry Potter inspired color, and it's these little, I wound it into 2 balls and then held it double, but because I held it double, it really kind of spreads out all the colors, so you don't end up with any striping or too much pooling, which I think is awesome. Let's see. Then, another Harry Potter. I guess I just have a lot of Harry Potter colors from her. This one's called Trolley Witch, and again, dark blues, dark reds, typical for me, but it's so good. Then these little goslings I got, this one's called Advice Ignored. I saw it in the green. Obviously, if you've been watching me, you know that green is my color, and this was too beautiful to pass up. Like, it's so perfect. But then I also got, this one's called What Kind of Bird Are You? And it's just like the most amazing, I guess it's green, but it's like almost teal. I don't know. It's, I guess, sea foam, but I think it's also really gorgeous, so I had to get that. I think you should go check out Goosey Fibers for sure. I love that the goslings are small and they fit better into a budget because of that. And also, she always has yarn in stock, which I think is great too. I love so many dyers that have shop updates, but some people don't really like that model because it's stressful, or you're working during the update or whatever, or you don't know what you want to buy at that time. So finding a good indie dyer that always has yarn available is always really nice. So then the next thing, who is next? Next, I'll show you Plank and Stella, who I actually discovered because of the Grocery Girls. The Grocery Girls are awesome, have the best taste, and Jody posted, I think, about the Belcher family yarn. So some of these are mystery skeins, but it's been long enough, I think it's fine to show. But the original one that I saw was this skein of yarn, which is called the Belcher family. It's inspired by Bob's Burgers. So Brian and I are watching Bob's Burgers from the beginning all the way through pretty much every night, and I'm completely obsessed. So almost all the yarn that I've gotten from her so far is Bob's Burgers inspired yarn. I have some other yarn on the way. I made an order a few weeks ago. That's not Bob's Burgers. Actually, there's a skein of Bob's Burgers yarn in that as well. But they're all so gorgeous that I really just really enjoyed them and wanted to get them. But this is the Belcher family. It's got just the most amazing, like, bright pinks. There's some darker reds, some bright blues, bright greens, some white, black speckles. It's gorgeous. So I had to get that. And then next up, I saw this white one with purple and like highlighter yellow. And you'll know I don't wear these colors, but I can't pass up a skein of bright sock yarn, because one day I tell myself I'm going to make socks with all these things. We'll see if it ever happens. But this one's called I Primp and Groom. I just loved the purple, and I like white yarns that have like fun variegated colors mixed in. So the next one I bought, this one is a Bob's Burgers inspired yarn. I just was reading the name and it's so funny. It's called Oh, Put Some Mistletoe on My Butt and Kiss It, Bobby. Again, white yarn with fun colors mixed in, but it's got like these amazing blue and highlighter yellow and green speckles that I love. And I think I would never have thought it would go really well with like this mustardy gold, but it just really does. And then I love blue, so this blue mini skein for the heel toe cuff was right up my alley. And then, let's see, another Belcher family skein. I have 2 of those. So yeah, I love her yarn. What I have coming up is a sock blank. I've never knit with a sock blank, and she had these one-of-a-kind sock blanks in like hot pink. So I picked up one of those. The last time I looked at her site, she had another one as well. So if that sounds something you'd like, then definitely go over there and look at it because it's gorgeous. And so what's next? I have some non-yarn things coming up, and I'm going to show you all the yarn first because I love it. And then Brewery Lana. Y'all know I'm obsessed with Brewery Lana. Nina is amazing. She's like a color genius, and I love her philosophy of intentional inclusivity, where she's selling her yarn at lower price points. So these skeins I think that I've gotten were $17, and if you watch my previous video, the Maker Spotlight video, I told you that she also has a coffee where you can donate to support her and support her mission. And so my recommendation is, if you're able, to kick her a few dollars there so she can keep doing what she's doing, which is what I did when I bought these. But these are amazing. She has a shop update in a few days, and I know she's including, this one is called Cotton Candy. It is on her Wisp base, which is a fingering 70% superwash, 30% nylon base. And then she's having another one called Bubblegum in the shop update that she showed a picture of, this cotton candy with the bubblegum, which is like pink and very similar tones. And I'm going to have to get it. But you have to act really quickly on her shop updates because people love Brewery Lana as much as I do, apparently. And it goes really quick, but it's so worth it if you're able to get it. And then I saw this one. This one is named after her. I believe it's called Nina. Yeah, Nina. And it's also on the Wisp base, so it's 70% wool, 30% nylon. And she knit up some socks, I believe, on her Instagram, and they were so beautiful that I knew I had to pick up a skein if I was able, and I was. Definitely check out Nina. She dyes the most gorgeous colorways, and she's also on YouTube, so I'll leave a link to that down below. But Brewery Lana, it's like my favorite, so I always have to grab hers when she has a shop update. What is next? Oh, so this one it's called Serendipitous Wool Company, and it's actually dyed in Spring, Texas, which is like right over by where I'm from in Houston. But it is a 50-gram skein and a 20-gram skein sock set called Himalayan Wildflowers is the main color, and Tangerine is the contrast color. And these are 75-25, so 75% superwash, 25% nylon. But I saw this, and it's like, the orange is so outside of my comfort zone, but I think it's perfect for a heel toe cuff on a sock. And then the main color is so floral and so earthy. I thought it would make beautiful socks, but it may end up as something else as well. It might do really well in a fade, actually. So check out Serendipitous Wool Company. This is the only thing I've gotten from her so far, but I'm actually gonna definitely be picking up more stuff. I do believe they also have stuff in their shop most of the time, so it's not always just like a shop update model. So that's always nice. It's a lot more relaxing. Who else? I love one-of-a-kind skeins, so I have a couple one-of-a-kinds, or I have a few one-of-a-kind skeins. It's always really fun to like pick up something that's super unique. It's the only one like it in the world. I mean, hand-dyed yarn is like that, right, in general, but a lot of them are repeatable colorways, so you could get more that might have variations from a previous dye lot or whatever, but a lot of these indie dyers obviously have one-of-a-kind skeins where it's like, it was like maybe a mess up, or like a test. And so they have like gorgeous things that you feel like you have to snap up because you may never see it again. And that's how I felt with this skein from Wild Star Fibers. I love like this blue and purple combination. I always like gravitate towards it whenever I see it. And then it's got these like amazing highlighter yellow again, speckles. Obviously there's a theme there for me with sock yarn, but this was just so beautiful. It's called, she calls her one of a kinds. A lot of the dyers I've noticed have like fun little names. She calls hers Shooting Stars. And this is batch 71. I actually think maybe there's another Skein a Batch 71 on her shop whenever I ordered this one, so maybe not like the only one in the world, but close. And this is gonna make, I think actually this would make a really fun hat or mittens, or I don't know. I keep saying the same things, right? Hats, mittens, socks, but we'll see. I buy sock yarn constantly because it's really great to make socks with. It's really great to knit it as fingering weight, but it's super versatile because you can double it up. So oftentimes I'll wind it into 2 balls like I did with this from Goosey Fibers and knit with 2 strands. You could do 3. And then it's like a DK or light worsted, which is what I did with this stocking. It's 2 strands of fingering weight and it knits up at like a DK weight. So I'll do hats that way, or mittens. I love fingerless mittens. So a lot of these things, whenever I am like buying yarn that I don't have a plan for, which how could I have a plan for all this? Then I'll buy fingering weight because I think it's a lot more versatile. Whereas like with worsted weight, I could go worsted weight or up, right? Like I could add to it, but I can't make it thinner, so I can't knit socks. So buying fingering weight, I feel like future-proofs it for me. That's what I feel like. We'll see how that works out. The next thing is this one's called, I forget what Porter Woolco calls it, but it's a one of a kind as well. And it's called Down the Chimney. And look at this. I mean, these colors are insane. And it's got like these black speckles, and there's some like this like, I guess it's like mustard, but then it's like over dyed with black, and then this red, this like brick red. I think this would make the most amazing like autumnal or like Christmas socks. There's some brighter reds in there. I can't wait to figure out what I'm going to do with this one, but when I saw it is a one of a kind, I wasn't going to miss out on that. I love it so much. And she is a newer dyer. I think yesterday and today she had a giveaway for 500 followers on Instagram, which like when she's dyeing yarn like this, how does she only have 500 followers? So I'm pretty sure she's brand new. So go check her out because like everything she does is amazing. I love this bright pink with some like darker pinks in it. And then what is this color called? Gilbert Grape. It's like a grape purple as the contrast color for this sock set. And I love like pink socks. So I obviously had to get this. This is another dyer that I heard of from Summer Lee. She is like the sock queen and like knows all of the sock dyers, like sock yarn dyers that you have to follow. So I discover a lot from her. This one wasn't a one of a kind, but it's beautiful nonetheless. And then I've told y'all previously that I love Fiber for the People. And she does what she calls, they're one of a kinds, but she calls them, oh geez, Lucky Strikes, says it right there. So this one is called Mist, and it's like the sea foam DK weight, 85%, 15%. I'm sorry, I didn't even tell you what this was. It's BFF and Gilbert Grape, and they're 75-25. Just realized. And the same thing with this Shooting Star. This was 85% wool, 15% nylon. But yeah, so Fiber for the People. This Mist is a 75-25, or I'm sorry, 85-15 DK weight. I love chunky socks, and I usually double up fingering weight to make them, but I don't have to do that with this. But I think that this color would be really great for something else. Maybe if I get some other contrasting colors or complementary colors, I could make a sweater. Or I've made a Leelanau before, which is a bottom-up pullover with a lice stitch. And I think that this would be really beautiful as a lice stitch with like a darker color maybe. I don't know. I loved it when I saw it. And her Lucky Strikes are always, or not always, but often whenever I've seen them, they're like these really pale, beautiful colors. She had a shop update today, the day I recorded this, and it was a lot of like these gorgeous pale colors. She's like a color genius, and even these Lucky Strikes are genius colors. And on her YouTube channel, she'll show herself making them. And a lot of it is like this no dye left behind philosophy, because the acid dyes can be like bad for the environment, obviously, because they're chemicals. And so instead of washing these chemicals down the drain, she will save the dyes and use those to make these Lucky Strikes, so that, you know, there's less dye going out into the environment, and her process is more eco-friendly. And I'm pretty sure she uses eco-friendly yarns as well, which I love that, and doesn't use water just one time. Like, she'll reuse the water that she uses to wash the skeins or whatever, to like, it's part of her process. So I like that kind of philosophy, and it benefits us because we get these amazing colors that maybe wouldn't exist otherwise. So yeah, I love Fiber for the People, and I love this skein. I have other skeins. Everything else I have from her is fingering weight, so I was really happy to get this DK, and it's really, really squishy. Then what else do I have? The last yarn I'll show you is, oh no, I forgot to tell you, this contrast color in this stocking is called an Oily Swell from Brian Dye Works. So I got a sock set, and I actually used all three colors. So this sock set came with 3 colors of yarn, but it was on her website called the Breakwater Sock Kit. So it was a kit for a specific pattern, but I didn't use it for that pattern. I used it to make this. I held the 3 different colors double with Germantown and made this stocking from my pattern, the Warm and Cozy stocking pattern on Ravlery now. And I love, Brian's right behind the camera and he's laughing at me right now. Yeah, I love it. It's a little hard to tell with the white in here, but this kind of lighter blue, it's like a silver, has really pretty speckles of different colors. This Oily Swell is like lots of different tones of blue. And then this one is kind of just like a tonal gold. And I just thought they were really pretty, and I loved how the white brought them down a little bit and made them a little bit more festive, but it's still like a kind of unexpected Christmas stocking, which obviously that's kind of like what I like, these colors. They ended up sort of looking a little Christmassy, because this is sage and this is rust, but it's a little bit left of center, which I love. I'm not one to like decorate with like reds and whites and whatever at Christmas, whereas Brian is, which is why he knit this beautiful stocking that I probably wouldn't have chosen the colors for, because it is a little bit more obviously Christmassy, but I ended up loving it anyway. It's white. This is like a dark, dark green, and then this dark red Germantown. And actually, the next thing that I had to show you was this Surrey that he used is actually from Knit One in Chicago. It's called Laura, and we had the hardest time finding it online whenever we were calling them to place the order, because we did curbside pickup. And so they may be the only people with it. So if you see this and want it, call Knit One Chicago. But it was like $10 or $11, and it is 25 grams, 64% alpaca, 36% cotton. And I want to say it was like 160 yards. It was like $10 or $11. It's so soft. And I mean, this is 2 colors of it, and you can see how fuzzy and soft. And I think this would be really warm if you put it in a wearable, but it worked really well for the stocking. And he only had 2 colors. So total, this stocking, I think he got the Germantown from Knit One for $15, and then $20 worth of Surrey. So it was around $35, which isn't terrible, especially because you could use worsted weight yarn that you have at home. So that was one that I got. It's not from a small business, didn't make this, but a small business sells it. So I'm considering it small business support. And then the other thing that I got from Knit One recently is they did some special Christmas colors of yarn. They have their own line of hand-dyed yarn. I've shown you all before. And these colors were inspired. I think the inspiration behind it was a mid-century modern Christmas. And they started doing some sparkle yarn. So I got 4 mini skeins of sparkle yarn. I hope you can see the sparkles in this. It's really hard to see, but in person they're so sparkly with these like little bits of silver. So I got this to do a summerly sock pattern. My plan is to fade them like this. I think they're gonna be awesome, and with the year we've been having, I thought a little bit of sparkly socks couldn't hurt, right? It'd be really fun. So these colors are aqua, teal, let's see, avocado, and sockeye. And they're dyed by my friend Grace, who I had on my channel before. She told me about the sweater that she made. That was a bottom up sweater, but she did a provisional cast on and knit the yoke bottom up and the rest of it top down, which I'm doing on a sweater that's been kind of in sweater limbo because I just haven't felt like knitting sweaters lately. So I've been knitting shawls and socks and big socks. Then that's all the yarn that I have to show you, but y'all know I gave away a beautiful sister bag here on my channel, and then today I had a giveaway on my Instagram for this bag. So it's already taken. It's not mine, but I love Beautiful Sister. It's an amazing small business. The 2 sisters who own it and make all the bags themselves are friends of mine, and they're really lovely people, and they make really lovely bags. So I just wanted to show you. I love this one. It's got a little leather handle, and it's canvas, tan canvas, and I love like very simple things, and so this one really speaks to me like aesthetically. But also I got this one, which I've shown you all before, and I love it. It's wild and fun and like gorgeous bright colors, and it's a perfect home for my little sock projects. I love these bags. This one's super fun because it has a little ring that you can put your stitch markers on, and I'm always losing stitch markers, so obviously I lost the ones that I was using with this bag, but this ring should theoretically help you with that if you're a little bit more responsible than I am. And I have more bags actually. So I've told you all about Paisley and Gold before, and I got this project bag from her. It is so awesome. It's just like a leather strap, and then it's a canvas bag with a drawstring. And so you pull this strap out to open it. I have this little pouch in here that I keep all my sock notions in, and it's got this giant pocket. So this pouch actually fits right inside this pocket. So it's like kind of perfect, and it holds like a lot. I like love this thing, and her bags are, I don't know, she could charge twice as much. They're so well made and all gorgeous. This is like a really beautiful toffee brown, and then like tan leather, obviously. I love this bag. And also Erica, who makes them, is just the most lovely person. I was so excited for her on Thanksgiving. She posted in her stories that Carrie Hilson, who is a pop singer, she had hits like years ago, but she actually was gifted a Paisley and Gold bag and posted about it. And she's got like 1 million followers or something, so that was huge for Erica. So I was so excited for her, and I love Carrie Hilson, so that was awesome. Then the last bag, well, no, I have a couple more things. The third bag I have to show you is this Hide and Hammer bag. I got it from House of a la Mode, which is indie dyer and yarn shop in Portland. And she got these bags. These bags are made in England. I'm not quite sure where in England, but I've always wanted one, but the shipping is expensive. So whenever I saw that she had them at House of Mode, I immediately jumped. So I got this navy bag with like mustard leather handles. And essentially the bag works like this. So you can hold it like this, and then you pop this off, and it's huge, like huge. And then you can roll down the top and it becomes like a yarn bowl. So one day when I'm allowed back out in the world, I can put my project in and kind of set it up and knit out of it. So I've been using it for my sidelight shawls. I got some Surrey in here, just some Farmer's Daughters Surrey. I love this thing. I think she may be sold out online from House of Mode because they're amazing and go quickly, but Hide and Hammer has them, and definitely go check out House of Mode and see, because I love this bag. It was a little pricey, but it's handmade. I think there's like one woman who makes them. She might have help now, but it's amazing. And the last thing was I got this. So Brian and I are making each other advents for yarn advents this year so that we can kind of support more dyers and like have variety instead of just buying one. It also ended up saving a little bit of money. But then I joined, it's La Mercerie, it's a yarn shop, has a sock swap that's sort of like fiber share, but you're swapping sock yarn. And as part of that, they had a winter shop that they opened up to the participants. It was free to join. I think it's closed now. But if you participated, you got access to this winter shop that had, it was like pre-sale access, and 15% off. And so I went into this winter shop that La Mercerie opened up, and they had this stitch marker advent calendar, and I couldn't pass it up. So I got two of these, one for Brian and one for myself. I think it was like $50 regular price. It wasn't too bad because there are 25 stitch markers in here. I have no idea what they look like. The brand is Firefly Notes. I've actually never seen their stuff before, so it's going to be a complete surprise, and I'm so excited for the first so we can start opening that because, I don't know, I'm just really excited. I love advent calendars, but usually I get the little 99-cent ones or however much they cost now with like the crappy chocolate, so it'll be really nice to have stitch markers. And then to make our advent calendars, what Brian and I are doing are buying 11 mini skeins and then one sock skein. So we're going to make our own for 12 days. So I'll start with this advent calendar, and then whatever day is 12 days from the 25th, the 13th, we will start doing our sock advent. So I'm so excited about it. But yeah, so that's really all I have to show you. I don't have any projects to show you today. I just wanted to show you all these amazing small businesses that make all these gorgeous products and tell you which ones I love. So anyway, thanks for sitting here and listening to me ramble, actually ramble today. And I will see you next time. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and I will see you soon.